In the year 2163, Earth was no longer naive about the stars. After a century of space colonization and slow expansion beyond Mars, humanity believed it was alone. Telescopes watched the void, probes drifted silently. We thought the universe was empty. We were wrong. The first sign came quietly, gravitational anomalies near Neptune. Then came the distortion, space itself twisting. Within days, an object appeared, massive, alien, alive. They were called the Varnok, an ancient insectile race evolved in the lightless oceans of a dead world hundreds of light years away. They had no need for diplomacy, no warning, no contact, just war. The Varnok Armada entered the solar system like a slow plague. Their ships were not made of metal. They pulsed and grew, living things shaped for war. Earth's defenses were laughably inadequate. Orbital stations were wiped out within hours. Satellites blinked out. Then the bombardments began. Skies turned red over Tokyo. Fires fell on Johannesburg. In just 6 days, over half the planet's population was dead or dying. The United Earth Government, a fragile alliance formed in peace, cracked under the pressure. Militaries were shattered, nations isolated. Yet from the chaos, something stirred. Humanity adapted the fall. What the Varnok didn't understand, what no species had understood before, was what humans become when pushed to the edge. From the ruins of Houston and Mumbai, militias formed. Scraps of satellites were turned into kinetic weapons. Underground bunkers became research labs. Old rivals became desperate allies. One such resistance cell, known only as Red Line, operated from beneath the ruins of old Moscow. Their leader, Captain Elena Rourke, was a former Space Force pilot who had lost everything in the first attack: her squadron, her family, her home. She refused to die quietly. Red Line began striking back, sabotaging alien relay towers, planting EMP mines, capturing pieces of Varnok biotech. Rourke learned how the Varnok ships grew their armor, like skin. She learned how their drones communicated, not with sound but vibration. Every death brought knowledge. Every battle taught a lesson. Meanwhile, in the Andes, a lone linguist named Dr. Malik Aran had begun decoding Varnok signals. He discovered something astonishing. The Varnok I couldn't comprehend human irrationality. They didn't understand emotion. They couldn't process grief or vengeance or sacrifice. It was a flaw, and humanity would exploit the turning point. By the second year of the war, Earth was unrecognizable. Scorched continents, poisoned oceans, orbital debris raining nightly. But humanity was no longer fractured. Red Line had become the spearhead of a global resistance. Using salvaged alien tech fused with Earth's remaining infrastructure, they created hybrid weapons, pulse cannons, EMP grenades, cloaked exosuits made from Varnok shell plating. And then came the greatest mission of all, Project Horizon. A captured Varnok command ship was found crashed in the Siberian tundra. Inside, a map of the Maw, the Varnok Central Hive ship, a massive bioconstruct orbiting Saturn's moon, Titan. It was the heart of the invasion, and it had a weakness. Dr. Aaron had developed a viral AI, built not from logic but from grief. He called it Echo. It was designed to infect the Varnok systems and force them to feel loss. Rourke would deliver it the final battle. In the third year of the war, humanity launched its final offensive. Old colony ships, refitted for war, departed from underground bunkers in Antarctica. Cybernetic infantry led boarding parties. Drone swarms painted the stars with fire. Rourke's hybrid stealth craft made it to the Maw. Inside, she witnessed the horrors of the Varnok, prisons of neural harvesters, human minds stretched across living networks. She fought through the fleshy corridors of a living ship, bleeding and screaming until she reached the core. There, she uploaded Echo. What happened next wasn't a weapon strike. It was grief. The virus flooded the Varnok system with the memories of billions. Children crying in shelters, lovers holding hands as cities fell, parents whispering goodbye through static-ridden radios. It gave the Varnok the one thing their cold evolution had discarded: pain. The hive mind fractured. Drones went silent. Ships dropped from orbit, spasming like wounded animals' aftermath. The war didn't end with a surrender. It ended with silence. The Varnok fleet drifted away, crippled and lost, retreating into the void that had birthed them. Earth was broken. Billions dead, cities gone, ecosystems ruined. But it was free. Captain Rourke never returned from the maw. Her ship was never found. Some say she still floats among the wreckage near Titan, a ghost in the shell of humanity's greatest victory. Dr. Aaron lived to see peace, though he never spoke publicly again. Earth would never be the same, but from the ashes rose something new, a united human fleet, forged not from hope, but defiance, watching the stars, preparing, because now we knew we were not alone, and we would never be prey again.
In the hushed control hall on the planet of Anad, Orion Malix took his usual seat, eyes fixed upon the gleaming wall of screens. The atmosphere felt both familiar and surreal, a sleek, domed chamber lined with the quiet hum of overhead lights and the subdued flicker of holographic monitors. Here, he and hundreds of others like him, known simply as the Watchers, observed an infinite menagerie of real lives occurring in countless simulated worlds. Though these illusions were extremely well crafted, Orion never forgot a simple truth. What he saw was real. The actors, called lookers by the Watchers, lived out drama and adventures in worlds that did not follow the laws of physics the same way they did on Avanad. Some simulations ran with elves and dragons, others in futuristic star-laced environments, and still others reflected worlds that mirrored ancient Earth's history. In all these places, people were born, lived, loved, fought, and died, without suspecting that beyond a great cosmic veil, a race of Watchers was quietly entertained. Since childhood, Orion had found the entire arrangement morally dubious. Sure, it was enthralling to watch these real-life shows, but a kernel of guilt lingered in him. The lookers had no idea that their universe was a constructed stage, or that their joys and sorrows were laid bare for billions to see. Every tear and heartbreak might be dissected, paused, rewound. Orion's mother once told him that in the centuries before, Avanad had produced films and shows from scripts and actors, all invented. But over time, the planet's thirst for more realistic, more immersive entertainment had led to the creation of these true simulations. Nothing was invented. Everything was lived, and the lookers paid the ultimate price of never knowing their destinies were not purely their own.
In the grey hush of dawn, a dying village lies still, a graveyard of hollow dwellings and silent dread. Among splintered beams and drifting ash stands a lone wanderer, steeling their heart against the lurking unknown. Nearby, two weary villagers whisper of the far fields, warning that no one ever returns from that forsaken place. Yet the wanderer, resolute, insists that cowering will not halt the darkness. They must discover what truly haunts these lands. The villagers speak of dark shapes at sundown, of moans on the wind, of a scouting party lost to some unseen horror. In hushed tones they confess their fear. The wanderer answers softly, vowing to learn what befell the missing and to prevent further doom. So with dawn's frail light cutting through swirling ash, hope takes shape in a single stride. Fragile as the dust beneath that determined footfall, beyond the village's ruinous gates lie fields turned to ash, silent testimony to forgotten wars. Once, crops flourished here. Now, only echoes drift in the stale wind. Footprints appear half buried in grey sediment, hinting at the missing scouts, or something far more ominous. At the edge of this desolation stands a boundary stone, scarred by runes older than memory, beyond which twisted groves whisper secrets best left buried. The wanderer senses a presence stirring. They realize they are not alone. Where the living dare to tread, the dead or the damned may linger, biding their time under ashen skies. In the heart of this forsaken land, a silent promise unfolds. The darkness will not be denied. Whether this lone soul can withstand the gathering night remains to be seen. For in that final breath of quiet, an unearthly cry shatters the stillness, and the wanderer, eyes wide, can only whisper, "By the old gods."